Pistol shots ring out a barroom night. Mr. Patty Valentine from the upper hall sees the bartender in a pool of blood and cries out, "Oh my God, they killed them all." Here comes the story of the hurricane, the man the authorities came to blame for something that he'd never done. Put him in a prison cell, but one time he could have been the champion of the world. Three bodies lying there, as see ya. Another man named Bello moving around mysteriously. "I didn't do it," he says. He throws up his hand. "I only robbed the register. I hope you understand. I saw him leaving," said he stopped to. "One of us had better call up the cops." So Patty calls the cops. They arrive on the scene with the red lights flashing in the hot New Jersey night. Meanwhile, far away in another part of town, Reuben Carter and a couple of friends are driving around, #1 contender for the middleweight crown. Had no idea what was going down when a cop pulled him over the side of the road, just like the time before and the time before that. In Patterson, that's the way things go. If you're black, you might as well not show up on the street unless you want to draw the heat. Alfred Bello had a partner, had a rap for the cops. Him and Arthur Dexter Bradley were just prowling around. Saw two men running out and they looked like middleweights. They jumped into a white car with out-of-state plates. Miss Patty Valentine just nodded her head. Cop said, "Wait a minute, boys, this one's not dead." They took him to the infirmary. And though this man could hardly see, they told him that he could identify the guilty men. Four in the morning, they hauled Reuben in. They took him to the hospital and they brought him upstairs. The wounded man looked through his one dying eye and he said, "Why'd you bring him in here? He ain't the guy." He's the story of the hurricane, the man the authorities came to blame for something that he never done. Put him in prison one time, he could have been the champion of the world. Four months later, the ghettos are in flames. Reuben's in South America fighting for his name. While Arthur Dexter Bradley's still in the robbery game, the cops putting the screws to him, looking for someone to blame. You remember that murder that happened in that bar? Remember you said you saw the getaway car? You think you'd like to play ball with law? Might have been that fighter that you saw running that night. Don't forget that you are white. Arthur Dexter Bradley said, "I'm really not sure." Cop said, "Poor boy, could use a break." We got a motel job and we're talking to your friend Bello. Now, don't you want to go back to jail or you want to be a nice fellow? You be doing society a favor. That SOB is brave and getting braver. We want to put him in stir. Want to pin this triple murder on him. He ain't no gentleman, Jim. Rib take a man out with just one punch, but he never liked it. He talked about that all that much. And then my work, he said, "I do it for the pay. When it's over, I just soon go my way. Through some paradise where the trout streams flow and the air is nice. Ride a horse along the trail. But then they took him to the jailhouse where they tried to turn a man into a mouse. All Reuben's cards were marked in advance. The trial was a pig circus, he never had a chance. The judge made Reuben's witness drunkards in the slums, and the white folks watched the revolutionary bum. The black folks, he was just a crazy nigger. No one doubted he pulled the trigger. Now they thought he could produce a gun. The DA said that he was the one who did the deed, and the all-white jury agreed. Reuben Carter was falsely tried. Crime was murder one, and guess who testified? Bello and Bradley, and they both badly lied. And the newspapers, they all went along for the ride. How can such life of such a man be in the palm of some fool's hand? To see him obviously framed couldn't help but make me feel ashamed to live in a land where justice is king. Now all the criminals in their coats and their ties are free to drink martinis and watch the sunrise, while Reuben sits like a Buddha in a 10-foot cell, innocent man in a living hell. That's the story of the hurricane, but it won't be over till they clear his name and give him back the time he's done. Put him in a prison cell, but one time he could have been champion of the world.